We have to hear Sotiris Karakominakis from Perdika, the village of Perdika, in the Ptolemaida area of Nomos Kozanis, Macedonia. You were born in 1944, and your parents, Dimitris and Maria, her maiden name was Kalfas, and there were 4 kids. Tell us, Sotiri, what do you remember from your childhood years in Perdika?
Well, childhood years up to the age of 10, I remember is that we, playing as normal like every other kid. Of course, coming from a small country town like that, we used to pass our time by playing in water, in the river that we had through the village.
And the village separated you because on the one side were the Slavophone kids and
right.
families, and on the other side you had the Greek families.
Yes.
And there was a bit of a rivalry there.
There was a rivalry there, that's right. Even as kids, I remember, up to the age of 10, we used to
have rock fights,
especially winter time when we had snow there. We used to have snow fights or throw each other.
And I remember you telling me during that heavy snow period of having to shovel the path.
That's right, yeah. Our parents used to, well, the fathers, of course, not the mothers, open pathways to all the way to school, because the snow was, I don't know how high exactly, but it would have been, for us young kids, a bit too much to walk through.
Okay, and in 1954, your parents made this enormous decision to take the opportunity of assisted passage with their men to Australia, and it's not a young couple or a single person travelling. They travelled to the other side of the world with
That's
4
right.
young children.
That's right. I often think about that, and the courage they had to pack up a family from Greece all the way here with no money, no language, to come here and to settle in a country where they had no idea.
That's right, amazing. And I think you travelled on the Fair Sea.
Yeah, we travelled on the Fair Sea. It took us, I think, about a month to get here. We landed in
Port Melbourne.
In our first shop was Fremantle, first stop.
Yes.
But we didn't get out ourselves, and then Melbourne, and that's where we got off. We got off at Melbourne, packed all our gear in, wrapped them up in sheets.
That's right, there were no suitcases, we had sheets.
That's right, we had no suitcases. We had no suitcases ourselves because we were very poor in Greece, and that was the main reason for leaving Greece and come over here, come to Australia for a better life, of course. And we got off, and we were sent to a place called Bonakile.
The migrant camp?
It's right, it was a migrant camp there. We stayed there for, I think, about 2-3 weeks. I'm not sure exactly. And after that, they moved us up by train all the way to Townsville in Queensland. And that's when my father started. He was cutting sugar cane. He was working, and we stayed there for 2 months. My father left there and came to New South Wales, and he got a job in BHP, which is still works there in Port Kembla. So after a week or two, he sent for us. So we got on the train, come all the way here. He picked us up, and we moved to a place called Cringilla, which is right next to the steelworks. Very
industrial.
Very, yes, well, yeah, the steelworks industrial, yeah, the steelworks. But the thing was where we were staying. It was from the chimneys and the dust and all that. Was even the grass where you walk in the grass and you get dirty. That's how.
Well, all that ash, all that ash.
Yeah. So after a few months, he had to sell the house. He did buy this house, which was only one room and a kitchen. I moved to a place about 5 kilometers roughly, I'm not too sure how many kilometers, further south, and it was a nice clean place. And then that's where we stayed. We stayed for about 3-4 years.
Tell me something, Sotiri. How does a young 10-year-old coming from Perdika, Ptolemaida, a village, coming to Australia, turning up to Port Kembla, the primary school, how did you encounter the language barrier? How did
gee, that was a hard for us new Australian kids, because there wasn't that many of us, and we always how can I say it? The Aussie kids, the Australian, they always used to. They must have enjoyed beating us up or something. I don't know. But we were always in trouble. We were always fighting, even though we couldn't speak to each other because we didn't know the language.
Because fist is the universal language with the fists.
And I did cop a few kind from the headmaster. I copped them kind.
But that was because you were sticking up for yourself, wasn't it?
Well, we were. Every time they used to catch us fighting, we'd be off to the headmaster for caning. Yes.
So your family stays in Port Kembla for a couple of years, but then they come to Sydney.
Yes.
And you live in Redfern for a little while.
Yes,
we
did for a few
and then you
months.
went to Marrickville.
A few months we lived in Bay. Yes.
What was and you leave high school quite early. What was your first job?
My first job was at a very young age. I was just 14. I was working in for wholesalers, grocery wholesalers in Redfern. And we were mostly packaging the groceries and sending them off to country towns, because these people that owned that, they were dealing mainly with country towns, sending groceries to country towns.
Oh, Kitherians, weren't they? Kitherian family.
That's
Chirigotas.
Chirigotas.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Galanis brothers.
Galanis brothers, that's right. Galanis brothers. And that was my first job. And
you're telling me that, the envelope, the pay envelope, went straight to the parents.
Well, yes, at that age, yes, because, that's the way we grew up, that everything goes to the parents. And of course, they had to pay for our expenses and everything.
You didn't get some pocket money, didn't get some pocket money.
But yes, they used to give us pocket money, that's right. Maybe it wasn't much, but it was enough to get by. To get by, yeah.
And you go through a range of jobs. Making letter boxes. Working for the water board, where you're clearing land.
Yes, I worked for the council.
In a cardboard factory. You worked at Sunbeam in Campsie for a little while in Harp Street. So work was easy to find, wasn't it?
Yes, I never had a problem finding work. Yes, even though we used to go. Those days, mostly door knocking, I suppose. You go to a factory or something, and you just ask if there's any vacancies for work there. And
can I ask, Sotiri, your friendship, your social circle, do you gravitate to Greek friends? Was it like that, or did you?
Well, I had both really. I had some Greek friends and Australian boys as well. But Yeah, later on, in a few years later, maybe when I got out, it was mostly Australian boys, I'd say, that had as friends. Not just. I had Polish, I remember, German, different nationalities.
Now, the big turning point in your life comes when you make this decision to go to Cooper Pedy in South Australia in search for opals.
Yes, that was after about the age of, what was it, about 22 maybe, roughly now, because before that I went to Melbourne for 7 months. I worked there for 7 months and came back, and then in a few months' time I left for Cooper Pedy because family friends used to talk a lot about Cooper Pedy and how much money they're making.
And Christiano's family.
And of course, I don't know why, but I wanted to make money from it.
In search of fortune, in search of fortune.
Exactly. And also I like traveling around, the countryside.
But you are a wanderlust, because I think you work in Cooper Pedy for 7 months, and then after that you go to Perth, then you go up to northwestern Australia.
Yes, I did. I worked for a few months in Cooper Pedy, and just before we were completely broke, we left with 2 friends, and we went all the way to Perth. So we got jobs there. I started working there, and my friends, I think they minds up to come back to Sydney, and I stayed on. And then I met another friend there that had a friend, a chef in Mountain Price, that's up northwestern Australia. So we got in my combi van and off we go again.
So it must have been a very free lifestyle.
It was when you not like now.
Of course not.
Because now you got a family, you can't have a free lifestyle.
But you've had this free lifestyle, returning back to Cooper Pedy for a shot at it.
Yes.
And you're digging away. But tell us, how does your wife to be at the time,
Okay,
Eleni,
before I got married, I went up to northwestern Australia, Tom Price. I worked there for a few months there, and then because there was nowhere to spend the money there, and because we were living in a private town. It's a private town, Mountain Price. So I saved a few dollars, and I always wanted to come back to Cooper Pedy because I enjoyed the life in Cooper Pedy, and I enjoyed
the camaraderie amongst everybody.
I had a drive to make more money, So we came back, and I finished up. I never made the money, by the way. We finished up. I finished up staying there for a few years, 4 or 5 years or something. We used to have breaks every year. We used to come for holidays, either down Adelaide, South Australia, or back to Sydney, mainly back to Sydney to see my parents, my brothers, my sister. And then after a 3-month holiday, I'd go back there, try and cash up again, and and try my luck again. So that was my life for about 5 years roughly. And then next time I came to Sydney, I met a wonderful girl here.
But your parents were, you have to settle down, wasn't it?
That's right, they were on to me all the time.
What did they have this?
You're getting old, you have to settle down, you have to get married. Maybe they were sick of me of travelling around, I think. Yes. And
you met the girl of your life, the woman of your life.
Yeah, the girl of my life, all right. Yeah, she really put a spell on me.
And the thing is, you marry here in Sydney, don't you?
Yes, we got married here in Sydney. And then after 3 months roughly, we bought because I came down with not a lot of money these days, but those days the money was worth more, and we bought into a grocery shop.
In Lugano.
In Lugano, that's right, in Lugano, Sydney. We bought in there, but because I had the disease, is it?
The bug.
That's right, the bug. I had red dust up my veins, they say, and I wanted to go back again to Cooper Pedy. So
With Eleni.
with Eleni this time, yes. So we went there. We went there, and as a holiday, we spent a few months there, and Eleni was pregnant at the time, so we came back to Sydney after 6 months, and then we came back, and after a while I packed up and went back. Well, Eleni was waiting to have her first daughter, and after she had her first daughter,
She came to Cooper Pedy.
she came back to Cooper Pedy when she, yes.
Amazing,
Yeah.
amazing. And I think you have a second child at Cooper Pedy too, I think.
Yes, then Maria was coming along, and so she had to fly back here to Sydney again to have her second daughter. And when she did, after roughly about 3 months, she came back. She came back to Cooper Pedy. Yes. So that was our life for
Until 1982.
Until 1982, yeah, that was after 4 years, something like in Cooper Pedy. And
Is it hard to return back to city life after living that lifestyle in Cooper Pedy? Was it difficult for you to come back to Sydney?
for me it was. For me it was, because I enjoyed being in Cooper Pedy. I enjoyed my friends there. I enjoyed the lifestyle I was having up there. But it wasn't as easy for women.
And for children too.
And the children as well, yes.
Yeah, so you had a young family.
Yes.
Now it's Eleni's passion and her experience in jewellery. Okay, so she was very experienced in jewellery.
Yes.
And you buy a shop in the city near Wynyard Station called Old and New.
Yeah, we bought. Yes, that's right. Helen, of course, she was, even when she was going to school, she was still working in jewelry shop. She really enjoyed being in jewelry business. So we decided we'll go into a shop of our own, which we did. Down in the city there, it's it used to be called Westpac Plaza, I think. Now it's Met Centre, right opposite the Australian Square building, and we spent 27 years in there. 27 years in there. By then,
By that time you've got four children.
4 daughters. That's
4
right,
daughters.
4 daughters. So 4 daughters.
Tell me now, we're talking about...
Excuse me, 4 wonderful daughters.
That's right, amazing daughters.
Yes, amazing daughters, they are. I'm very happy. I'm very happy that we got amazing daughters. But not only the daughters, but the wife is amazing as well.
Of course.
She really looks after us.
Now, can I ask you, with this family of yours, how do you and Eleni give the Greek, culture and traditions to your daughters? How did you do that? Did you send them to Greek schools and
We did always. We did send them to Greek schools, but also we had tutoring, tutoring at home. We had teachers coming and teaching them Greek at home. Plus, there were a lot of help came from our parents as well, because they're always speaking the Greek language at home, and they picked up a lot of things. Yes, so.
So in the 1990s, you do your first trip to Greece. You left as a 10-year-old, and you returned.
I left as a 10-year-old, and we returned Our first trip to Greece was in 95, 96. Took the whole family there. There were 6 of us.
How did you feel, Sotiri?
Yeah,
Did you feel as if it was a homecoming? Had you forgotten? Had you become too Australian? How do you see it?
Well, look, I went over there, didn't know what to expect really, but I was happy to go. I met after all those years, all the cousins, which I have quite a few cousins, there's a lot of us, and my wife's got a few cousins, they from the same area, which is only about 15 minutes away, her village. Yeah, it was wonderful. It was wonderful. We enjoyed it, but we didn't stay long enough. We stayed, I think we stayed about a month, roughly about a month. Then we decided that we have to go back again. So
if I was to ask Sotiri, who are you? Are you Greek? Are you Australian? Are you Australian Greek, Greek Australian? Who are you?
That's a very difficult question to answer, because I'm both. Bill, I'm really both. I like it there because we only just come back recently. We spent nearly a month there, and every time we go over there, we really enjoy ourselves. It's always pleasant to go and see all our cousins, and they really look after us well. They're so good to us, so that's why we keep on going back. We have made a few trips back really up to now, and we're planning going back in 2025 again, and this time maybe there's going to be, we're hoping to be all the kids with the families.
Oh wow!
We're talking about it anyway, but hopefully we can go. Yes.
So thank you very, very much for your time. Thank you.
You're welcome, Bill.